You're being very active, and that trend continues here, right? So how much momentum are you feeling, and how has that benefited you, I guess, both mentally and physically coming into this fight?
Yeah, it definitely helps with, like just being a little more calm and just dealing with the nerves, I guess. But I mean, they're still there. Like, it's definitely, yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been so long since I've been here. It kind of feels like, wait, we were just at Fight Week.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe people thought you were going to rebook the Macy fight after the last one. Were you happy that they came to Erin, who's obviously higher ranked?
I mean, to me, like, well, yeah, of course, her being higher ranked, and I've always, whenever I've always had my eye on Erin, like whenever she kind of like started her momentum and stuff in the UFC. I was in strawweight, and I thought she was a great competitor and somebody that if I ever got the chance to face her, I'd be really excited about. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate. I guess with Macy, there's a lot of ambiguity and like a lot of questions, like what's going on. So, yeah, I still wish her, health and wellness, and hopefully she could get back to things. But it really sucks when you train like specifically for a fight, and then it's just like it gets all the way down to it, and then it doesn't fall through. I mean, I'm good at adapting and changing scenarios and things like that. So I would just be a little hesitant to book that fight right away because there's a lot of questions with her, like what's going on with her.
Yeah, and no questions what Erin brings to the table, right? She's a good grappler and strong ground and pound and stuff.
Yeah.
People have tried to do that to you before. Do you think her approach to it is anything unlike you haven't seen or already experienced?
I mean, I guess like with her, what's kind of unique is the fact that she kind of has a sort of cycle that she puts people through, and if she can somehow get to her little cycle, people start to she just finds her zone, and she's like very comfortable in that, and people are very uncomfortable in that. And what's good about my preparation and everything like that is I've done a lot of work on preventing that cycle from even happening. And even if, something does get started at some point, I'm very confident in my ability to adapt and to survive or, get back to a good place. So, yeah, we studied her a lot. And, I mean, she's unique in the sense of she just kind of, I don't know, she controls her emotions very well, and she's very, stoic, I guess, and that's kind of what everybody observes about her. But I know that she's going to feel something when I'm in there with her.
And we finally saw the trilogy play out for the title. Valentina came out with it. People think maybe Manon Fiorot's next. I know you have your history with her. Do you think there's any chance, though, if you put on the right type of performance, you could maybe change that argument and people talk about you and Valentina?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that anything's possible, and yeah, that's my intentions, to really put on a good performance enough to where like there's no doubt that I could be next. But I still just being kind of having, I just kind of feel like as if Manon deserves it next anyways, regardless of what I do. You know what I mean? Because especially she technically has a loss over me. I do feel like I was. If that was a 5-round fight, I think I could have found a way to win. I was finding it towards the end. So, but it is what it is. If she wins the belt, then that'd be great to fight her again, or even have that dream matchup with Valentina one day. But so I'd be excited to see them fight. But if the UFC wanted to put me ahead of that with a very spectacular performance, I'd be open to that as well.
For sure. I think you and Valentina could be probably the biggest title fight in the history of the weight class, or one of them. Would you agree with that?
I mean, yeah. Like, to me, just as a fan, I mean, she's definitely always been my favorite female fighter, and she's somebody that I admire a lot and that I trained with a lot. So for me, it would just be more like it'd be hard for me to not just be fanning out like while I'm fighting her at the same time. It'd be kind of weird, but. At the same time, I'd also, it just as a martial artist, it'd be the ultimate dream just to test myself against, I'd say, one of the truest martial artists in the game right now.
And two more things. this card will be kind of the start of the new era with change in rule set. 12 to 6 elbows are now legal, and they changed the definition of a grounded opponent to knee. Did you take any of that into consideration with training, positions, things like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of those scenarios are like worst case scenarios maybe, or like best case scenario, like if you have somebody kind of like almost, you know, at the end of the fight kind of thing, or in a very precarious situation. Because like I think one situation I've thought about is like front headlock positions, you know, because that's where people tend to start to stand up, but are, I guess with these rules would be not necessarily down anymore if you're 4-pointed. So like that's something that I thought about, but I've always gone into every fight just protect myself at all times, you know, or at least I've learned that over the years. So regardless of what the rules are, people can break the rules. So it's a fight, and I have to be prepared for everything, no matter what, even if there's rule changes or what. Like even when the ref comes up to me and tells me like this is that and this is that, this is okay, this isn't okay, this area, I'm just like I'm just like locked in. Like I don't really pay attention to all those little details all the time, like because I'm just instincts, you know what I mean?
Going off that though, is there another rule set change you would like to see happen at some point in the sport next?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. I don't know. I mean, there's so many different like types of fighting now, and there's just so many different like it's just crazy what's going on like in the world of like combat sports in general. And so it's something that like I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. Like I think sometimes like the thought of like soccer kicks and things like that on the ground, or like you can like kick a downed opponent, like that would be crazy. But I think that would be more what is it, like impactful or whatever than just like defining what a downed opponent is. But I don't know if I would like that or not. You know what I mean? Like it's not. So whatever it is right now is cool.
Rose, right here to your right. We saw Carla Esparza retire not too long ago, and it looks like Jessica Penne is also out of the promotion now. So I'm just curious, looking back to the Ultimate Fighter 20, what it means to you to still be here after that time, because I think it's just you, Tisha, and Angela Hill that are left.
Yeah, we're just, you know, pushing on. Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Just like I think the UFC posted some of my finishes, and all of a sudden, like some of the earlier finishes that I had, just like it almost looked like when you see like an old movie or something like that, and it's like it just kind of looks a little different. It's hard to put your finger on it, like as far as like it's just the way that it's like, dang, I've been in this for a while, so it's cool. It's cool because I still feel great, and I'm very I have so much experience and knowledge and maturity now, so it's like, but I still feel very physically great, and if anything, I know how to like. I'm very good at like some fighters get to like getting to the point of like sustaining a lot of damage, and they never like learn their lessons. Like they just keep like doing the same thing. But if I have like a little tweak here or there, so I know how to like learn from it and learn how to get better from it, you know, and then I can heal up. And I'm also I take care of my body very well too. So it's kind of crazy to think that, yeah, it's, you know, I've been doing something right.
When we talk about that experience then, does that kind of make this the perfect time for you to make a run at the flyweight title? Because you did get started very early. You're still just 32, and you're still in your prime, basically.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it is the perfect time right now. That's why I changed the divisions when I did. It would have been nice to, like, change into the division as a champion and, like, or maybe just be able to leave the belt behind or whatever and, you know, vacate the title kind of a thing instead of coming off of a loss. Like, but I guess in this way it's kind of cool because I can actually like climb the ranks, you know what I mean? Like instead of just jumping to a title shot right away. And, you know, it wasn't the easiest transition. And, but it's always been kind of in like my to-do list as a martial artist eventually. So here I am. And, yeah, I don't know.
And last one for me, you kind of gave me the segue there. You mentioned climbing the ranks. There's been a lot of talk about the rankings recently, and obviously Dana White hasn't been too happy with them overall. You are, I believe, number 5, and Erin, I think, is number 3, if I'm not mistaken. What are your thoughts overall on the rankings? Have you been happy with them?
The This is actually the most I've ever paid attention to rankings in like a long time, because to me, I always felt like it's like the champion and everybody else, you know. But the only reason I've been really paying attention to it lately is because it's like, okay, who am I fighting next? You know what I mean, kind of a thing. But like as far as like what do I like to get into the mindset of maybe the matchmakers or whatever. But I really don't think it matters. I think you just gotta win fights and do it in a way that you just gotta have the mindset of, I'm gonna be the champion and I'm gonna get there, and I'm just gonna keep winning.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Rose, right here. You spoke about the transition from strawweight to flyweight. What did you find most difficult with that transition?
I would say, like, I guess, I don't know about like most difficult, but one of the difficulties would be just like, I think my ligaments and stuff, just carrying around a little more extra weight and putting on that size. I think it took its toll on my body just to get used to it, and like punching harder, like because you have that weight, there's more impact, and when you're hitting and or just wrestling around and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, my shoulders took a little toll during that transition, but now they feel great. So yeah.
Would you think that transition is fully complete now, or is there still some work to do?
I think there's always work to do, but as far as like, you know, just the transition phase, yeah, I'm definitely settled in here for sure. Like it would be, and not saying it's impossible, but it would be to go back down to 115. It would definitely take some real work, like more work than transitioning to this right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Look, you're going for your third UFC title. You've been strawweight champion twice before. Obviously, there's lots of physical demands, but the mental demands of, you know, chasing a title and becoming a champion and defending that title, you know, you've talked about that quite often as well. You know, how do you feel on this chase for the 125-pound title?
Yeah, I'm at peace. You know, I pray for peace every day, like in my mindset. Like it's, I just control what I can control, and I try to just use this opportunity and platform to just like, you know, glorify God and just try to just be the best version of myself I can be, and just try to. There's a lot of peace in that. You know, I'm not here. I think, you know, as I was younger, I had a lot of ego, and like I needed to know that I was better than the person I was fighting. It's like, really, at the end of the day, we're all tough. We're all really good. It's just, to me, I really, and I still do believe that I'm like, I have the gifts and I have everything it takes to be better than anybody that I stand across from. Like, that's just the mentality that I have. But it's like, if it ends up not being true on a specific night, then it's just like, okay, I guess that's not God's plan for me. Then it's fine. I'm just enjoying being a martial artist and being in the present moment, and just enjoy every step of the way that I get to be with you guys and be able to just be in the world and just share the good news.
You posted a little while back on Instagram with all your championship titles on top of the Lithuanian flag. I just wondering if you could like speak to how proud you are to represent Lithuania and your Lithuanian heritage.
Yeah, aš labai myliu Lietuvą, labai noriu būti ten ir važiuoti Lietuvą. I was just saying that, like, I just really love Lithuania. I want to be there. I miss them, and yeah, it would be my dream to one day fight in Lithuania. If I mean, I don't know how possible that is, but I know it's possible. Anything's possible. So, yeah, I love Lithuania. Even though I was born in the States, I'm speak Lithuanian fluently, you know, like I was born and raised, and my grandmother raised me, and I'm very much Lithuanian in my heart, and so yeah, it would be a dream come true. But I forgot the rest of that question, but I don't know. I just love Lithuania.
I think you answered it well. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Rose, just one more. When we were talking about the rules, you mentioned there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in combat sports. Is there anything in particular you were referring to that you've seen lately that's just been like, what the hell?
Man, I seen something where they were like taping their hands together on a table, and then they had like a belt tied to the table, and they were like just fighting like that. And then saw something like medieval MMA where they're like just dressed in like, you know, knights armors and like just hitting each other with weapons, which is funny because like it just kind of took me back to like before I started actually fighting. And there was a point in time where, you know, when I was doing like all kinds of martial arts, and I did stick fighting at one point, and that was actually really fun. And I don't know, you know, how I'd be, that would be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some stick fighting championship at some point, but that was actually like really fun and a really good workout. I've always like kind of teased the idea of like incorporating that into my training because it's just such a great cardio, you know?
So we want to maybe some car jiu-jitsu or something?
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. Like, what is going on? Like, some of the stuff is just out of control, you know. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.